In the last 10 years, billionaires have made more money than we thought. Fortunes can be made and lost in a day in our global economy. Today we're going to present the world's top 10 richest billionaires alive on the planet in 2021 and their real-time net worth according to Bloomberg.com. While many of the names in the top 10 are as iconic as the tech companies that propelled them to wealth and fame, there is always room for a few surprises. In addition to their business acumen and accomplishments, many of the people on the list are also active philanthropists. And if the thought of all that wealth feels intimidating and out of reach, consider that many billionaires are self-made and come from humble and unremarkable beginnings. Number 10. Sergey Brin, co-founder and board member at Google. Total net worth $82.9 billion. What makes Google unique, compared to the other companies featured on this list, is that its co-founders are relatively close, in terms of total wealth. Sergey Brin's involvement in Google follows a similar path to Page's. After the duo founded in the company in 1998, Brin served as co-president alongside Page until Eric Schmidt took over as CEO in 2001. Similarly, after founding Alphabet in 2015, Brin acted as the holding company's president before stepping down in 2019 when Sundar Pichai took over as CEO. Brin spent much of his time focusing on X, Alphabet's moonshot research laboratory, which is responsible for innovative technologies like the Waymo self-driving cars and Google Glass smart glasses. He has also donated millions of dollars toward researching a cure for Parkinson's, having partnered with the Michael J. Fox Foundation to devise new drugs against leucine-rich repeat kinase 2, also known as dardarin, one of the greatest genetic contributors to the disease. Steve Ballmer, former Microsoft CEO, total net worth $83.6 billion. Longtime Microsoft employee and right-hand man to Microsoft founder Bill Gates, Steve Ballmer has been with the company through thick and thin, rising through the ranks to replace Gates as CEO. Steve Ballmer, as of the most recent report, owns around 333 million shares in Microsoft. Much of Ballmer's tens of billions net worth is up to the value of his shares in Microsoft. After spending multiple decades with the company, it should come as no surprise that Ballmer owns such a large portion of Microsoft's shares, especially in the CEO position that he occupied. At one point he even exceeded founder Bill Gates' total percentage of control in the shareholdings. It's been a long time since 2013, and those shares that Ballmer wisely held on to have done nothing but grow and grow in the time that has passed. Ever since his retirement, Ballmer has made numerous other investments, ranging from buying shares in other promising tech companies such as Twitter to turning a hand towards philanthropy. Larry Page, co-founder of Google, total net worth $85.7 billion. Larry Page, the co-founder of one of the world's most famous technology companies, Alphabet Incorporated, formerly Google, is one of the world's wealthiest people. Larry Page is an entrepreneur whose net worth trajectory began with the creation of Google and continues with many other investments. He and his business partner, Sergey Brin, have written themselves into history by creating the largest search engine. They are now some of the wealthiest people in the world. While working at Google, Larry Page technically took home a $1 yearly salary. Although he is no longer CEO, he is still worth billions due to his significant stake in the company. Warren Buffett, American investor, business tycoon, total net worth $86.7 billion. Warren Buffett is one of the richest people in the world, and arguably the best investor of all time. Warren Buffett is considered by many to be the most famous and successful investor in history. If you had invested $10,000 with Warren Buffett in 1966, today you would have over $160 million. That same $10,000 invested in the S&P would be $140,000. Buffett came from modest beginnings, which has shaped the way he views money management. He was born in Omaha, Nebraska, in 1930, and the town has been his home ever since. Working as an investment salesman, he had a knack for investing and eventually built Berkshire Hathaway into the company it is today. He still lives in the home he purchased in 1958 for $31,500. Despite his billions of dollars, Buffett says he eats at McDonald's for breakfast every day, and spends no more than $3.17 each time, and for years he used a $20 flip phone until finally upgrading to an iPhone 11. Berkshire owns roughly 5.9% of Apple. Warren Buffett has pledged to give away 99% of his net worth to charity before he dies. 83% of the money will go to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which makes it the largest charitable gift in human history. Buffett's philanthropy has inspired other billionaires to pledge at least 50% of their net worth to charity in their lifetimes as well, a truly remarkable accomplishment. Buffett keeps his net worth predominantly in Berkshire Hathaway and Berkshire Hathaway stock, the investment company he founded. Berkshire Hathaway acts as his investment vehicle and invests in such things as equities, real estate, and renewable energy. Zhang Shanshan, Chinese billionaire businessman, total net worth $89.0 billion. Zhang Shanshan has turned water into gold. Zhang, chairman of Chinese bottled water empire Nanfu Spring, has become the sixth richest person on the planet as shares in his company soared nearly 20% since the beginning of 2021. Zhang's fortune is now the largest in China. Last year saw the rich getting richer, and 66-year-old Zhang made most of his fortune during 2020 alone. His wealth grew by a staggering $71 billion throughout the year. The sources of Zhang's wealth are his roles as chairman at two major companies, bottled water maker Nanfu Spring and Beijing Wantai Biological Pharmacy Enterprise, which makes vaccines and hepatitis test kits. Nanfu Spring reported $3.5 billion in revenue in 2019, while Shanshan's pharmacy enterprise reported revenue of $171 million, per Bloomberg. In 2020, Zhang's net worth skyrocketed as he took both of his companies public. Beijing Wantai Biological Pharmacy Enterprise went public on the Shanghai Stock Exchange in April, and Nanfu Spring's $1 billion initial public offering in Hong Kong in September made Shanshan China's third richest person overnight. The 66-year-old billionaire is known as the lone wolf because he's not involved in politics or business groups. He rarely makes public appearances or speaks to the media, according to Chinese publication, The Paper. Mark Zuckerberg, founder and CEO of Facebook, total net worth $98.1 billion. Zuckerberg attended Harvard University, where he launched the Facebook social networking service from his dormitory room on February 4, 2004, with college roommates. Originally launched to select college campuses, the site expanded rapidly and eventually beyond colleges, reaching 1 billion users by 2012. Zuckerberg took the company public in May 2012 with majority shares. In 2007, at age 23, he became the world's youngest self-made billionaire. Mark owns 400 million shares of Facebook. That means at the IPO he ended the day with a paper net worth of around $15 billion. Mark Zuckerberg's salary is $1 per year. Many executives like Zuckerberg choose to pay themselves low salaries in order to increase the company's profits as much as possible. When the company maximizes profits, it increases the overall value of their stock holdings, which is where the executive's true wealth comes from. Executives like Eric Schmidt, Larry Page, and Sergey Brin each earn only $1 per year in salary. Mark has pledged to give away 99% of his wealth during his lifetime. In September 2017, he announced a plan to regularly sell off chunks of his shares to fund his foundation, the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. Bernard Arnault, French billionaire businessman and art collector, total net worth $108 billion. Bernard Arnault has been serving as the chief executive officer of the Louis Vuitton conglomerate since 1989. Being the principal shareholder in the fashion company, he has become the wealthiest man in France and is among the richest in the world. Late last year, the business titan was, very briefly, the world's wealthiest individual before scooting down a couple of notches as the coffers of Amazon's Jeff Bezos ballooned. Arnault has seen the value of his luxury conglomerate plummet as the coronavirus pandemic has forced most of his brands, which include the likes of Louis Vuitton, Dior and Fendi, to temporarily shutter stores, and as travel restrictions have eliminated the lucrative line of tourist spending. An engineer by training, Arnault's business chops became apparent while working for his father's construction firm, Ferret Savinel, which he would take control of in 1971. He later converted Ferret Savinel to a real estate company named Ferronal Incorporated in 1979. Arnault remained Ferronal's chairman for another 6 years, until he acquired and reorganized luxury goods maker Financière Agech in 1984, eventually selling all of its holdings other than Christian Dior and Le Bon Marché. He was invited to invest in LVMH in 1987 and became the majority shareholder, chairman of the board, and CEO of the company 2 years later. Bill Gates, co-founded Microsoft, total net worth $131 billion. On March 13, 1986, Microsoft went public on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange, selling 2.9 million shares at $21 each, raising $61 million. Shares closed at $28 on first day of trading, making a 31-year-old Gates and his 11.1 million shares worth $310 million. By 1987, Gates was officially declared a billionaire, just days before his 32nd birthday. He was also officially the world's youngest self-made billionaire with a net worth of $1.25 billion, over $900 million more than he was worth in 1986. Bill Gates, who has been one of the wealthiest men in the world for decades, made his fortune as the co-founder of Microsoft. The company, which was a key player in the personal computer revolution in the 1990s, eventually became a corporate behemoth, and Gates became a household name as a tech titan and business magnate. Gates stepped down as Microsoft's CEO in January 2000, shifting his attention to philanthropy and other assorted projects. In March 2020, Gates stepped down from Microsoft's board, though he owning just about 1.3% of shares in the company. He is still one of the richest people on the planet with a net worth of around $130 billion. Jeff Bezos, Amazon CEO, total net worth $188 billion. Amazon founder and CEO Jeff Bezos has a net worth of $188 billion and ranks as the second richest person on the earth today. His position remains the same even after divorcing his wife Mackenzie in 2019 and transferring a quarter of his stake in Amazon to her. In 1994, Jeff Bezos founded Amazon.com in a garage in Seattle, shortly after he resigned from the hedge fund giant D.E. Shaw. In fact, he had originally pitched the idea of an online bookstore to his former boss David E. Shaw, who wasn't interested. Though Amazon.com originally started out selling books, it has since morphed into a one-stop shop for everything under the sun, and is arguably the world's largest retailer. At any rate, it's hard to dispute its self-description as the Earth's most customer-centric company. Its pattern of constant diversification is evident in some of its unexpected expansions, which include acquiring Whole Foods in 2017 and launching its own branded over-the-counter drugs in February 2018. In 2020, Amazon's share price skyrocketed on the heightened demand for online shopping as lockdowns forced consumers to stay home. Bezos originally took Amazon public in 1997 and went on to become the first man since Bill Gates in 1999 to achieve a net worth of more than $100 billion. Elon Musk, founder of SpaceX and chief executive officer of Tesla Incorporated, total net worth $190 billion. The current richest man in the world, Elon Musk has had his hands in several different companies over the years. Musk deferred his attendance to launch Zip2, one of the earliest online navigation services. A portion of the proceeds from this endeavor were then reinvested to create X.com, an online payment system that later became PayPal. While both of these systems were eventually sold to other companies, Musk has maintained his status as CEO and lead designer of his third project, Space Exploration Technologies, SpaceX, which aims to make space exploration more affordable. In 2004, Musk became a major funder of Tesla Motors, now Tesla, which led to him being retroactively declared a co-founder in his current position as CEO of the electric vehicle company. In addition to its line of electric automobiles, which include sedans, sport utility vehicles, and the Cybertruck announced in 2019, Tesla also produces energy storage devices, automobile accessories, merchandise, and, through its acquisition of Solar City in 2016, solar power systems. At the beginning of 2020, Musk's net worth was nearly $30 billion. But, Tesla's exceptional year sent that number climbing, as the electric automaker's stock has exploded by over 650% since the start of the year, thanks to Tesla setting new sales records and reporting its fifth consecutive profitable quarter. Musk owns a roughly 20% stake in Tesla, so the company's surge provided the main boost for his personal gains, added a whopping $140 billion to his net worth in 2020, bringing the total to $190 billion, as of 1st of February, according to Bloomberg. If you want to get a little closer to richest billionaires list, you might need to become a technological innovator or a retail king. Or you can keep it simple and focus on value investing. It also wouldn't hurt to start out by coming from wealth, as Arnault and some other super wealthy individuals did. However, the greatest fortunes on the list started as great ideas. If you like our content, please consider to like and share. Leave comments below and subscribe to stay updated with us. Thanks for watching. See you next time.